this is Björn Landberg. Welcome to Threefold Talk.
I'm never going to get over that.
It's so good. It's so good. Hello, welcome to Threefold Talk, your weekly IEL live show. It is only half IEL today.
Well, 3/4.
I mean, Carly, I don't know. Would you consider yourself a Carly of the Wetlander variety or of the IEL variety?
I feel like at this point, I feel like Rand coming out of Ruidian, like I know enough to know I'll never fully understand. That's where I'm at IEL-wise.
Love it. That's awesome.
Super.
And Jordan is joining us. Jordan of Soundscapes of Time. Welcome, Jordan.
Welcome
to you. Carly, remind us what your spoiler level is.
Right now I'm halfway through book 7, so that's where we're at. halfway through halfway, basically.
All right. We're gonna make that happen, except that's the wrong one. Hide it. Rename it. Okay. Different book.
We totally had this planned.
The what is it? It's
Crown
not
of
Lord
Swords
of Chaos.
Crown of Swords is 7.
Well, there's past Lord of Chaos. How about that? There we go.
That works. That will do.
That was me all Jordan Con weekend too. Like in the panels, everyone was like, "Okay, what's the spoiler level?" And I was like, "I was actually out of everyone who hadn't finished the books, I was the furthest along, which was really funny."
Oh wow! Were there a lot of like show only watchers there, or
a few?
Was it?
Yeah, there was a few,
That's
but then
cool.
like it was funny. I went and I was sitting in one panel, and that wasn't a show panel. It was just talking about like horror in the Wheel of Time, and James literally comes over to me and they go, "Carly, this panel is full book spoilers." I was like, "It's fine." And there was only one thing that I didn't know about, but when I said, "I'm actually excited to get to that point whenever it is," so it's fine. It wasn't like a major, end of series spoiler. So I was like, "It's fine. You can." Most of the stuff I had already gotten to, so, but it was very sweet. All weekend, people were like, "We got to be careful about spoilers."
Yeah, people really. I remember watching Allie. She had these like no spoilers, had earmuffs or something.
Yeah, first time reader. Like there was one ear said
awesome.
one thing and one ear said the other.
They're really great.
It's so funny. Yeah, I didn't get any major spoilers over the weekend though. Like none that I would have been upset to know about ahead of time.
Or maybe people were really good at masking them and like
there were people talking around things. Once they knew what the spoiler level in the room had to be, it was sort of like, okay. But when you're talking about the show, you don't really need to go super far beyond where I'm at to really talk about like plot stuff. So that helped.
Yeah, what I think is really interesting is now we have a situation where it seems very much like the show is going to go back and do Stone of Tear, and where I think a lot of people had just assumed we were just like moving past that. So now we have to be like backwards careful about some spoilers.
Backwards, but then also forward with some of them, because I would assume White Tower stuff is just going to keep going forward.
Seems like it.
While we have to go back to like Tyr and Kalendor.
Yeah. It's so funny. I love it. I'm a big fan.
It's wild. Look, it's not my job to keep that all straight. So, like, power to the writers, but and Sarah.
Yeah, and Sarah was at Jordan Con, and you got to talk with her a little bit at Jordan Con, right?
I didn't talk to her directly, but I was in a lot of the panels that she was hanging out in. So I think it was nice to have her there too, just because I feel like people that like the show, watch the show, may have had questions about decisions made in the show. She was able to really give some insider perspective as to why certain decisions were made, and also like some of the decisions were a little, like contentious in the room, or like she had ideas and then other factors like they couldn't do it because of budget or VFX expense and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like it's a lot that goes into I think deciding how any of this gets on screen. So I think it was nice. It was nice to give people perspective on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, she's always so good about that. That's awesome. So go ahead.
I was gonna say she was on most of the show panels also. So like,
wow,
she was a trooper.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's anybody who's done panels at these conventions know, like, just one is stressful, let alone like 4, 5, or 6 panels. So
it was so funny because she did the Igloo Bond Balefire panel. I think it was it whatever night that was, but she was like, I signed an HR thing, so it has to be book characters only. I can't say like we obviously they weren't going to do actors in that, right? But she was like, just to be on the safe side, we're going to say book versions of these characters, and no one that is played by someone that I actually is a coworker of mine.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Okay, so Jordan has never been to Jordan Con. So
I have not.
If you were gonna tell him like your number one favorite thing about Jordan Con to like make him buy a ticket like right now, what would it be?
Am I going, or is Liz to say is like
both of you?
I mean, my answer is always the same. It's like getting to see the people. The panels are fun. All the other things like Jordan Con specifically has this very big dealers hall where artists come, and it's not just Wheel of Time stuff, but there's all sorts of art. There's authors. So there's an authors hall. So authors are sitting there selling their books, so you can go talk to the actual authors. That's a lot of like, it's very unique of the Wheel of Time conventions to Jordan Con. That's my second favorite part. But my favorite part always is just seeing all the people that we all talk to online and like get to like see their names pop up, but you don't get to see them in person. So even though I see you guys' face right now, I can't like wrap my arms around you and like squeeze you tight. And so that's my favorite part about not just Jordan Con, but all of the Wheel of Time conventions and the various get-togethers that get organized throughout the year.
Yeah.
What do you think, Carly?
Yeah, same. I mean, I look, I get spoiled because I'm local to Atlanta, so Jordan Con is literally a 15-minute drive from my apartment right now. So it's literally as easy as me getting in the car and just driving over to where everyone's hanging out for like the weekend. But there's such an advantage too, I think. It's so easy for us to get caught up in everything that goes on online with regard to like talking about the show, including some of the nonsense, I think. And one of the things that's really put into perspective, you know, just the discourse, like, was getting to be in person with people and having respectful conversations about decisions that were made, or like, you know, even just going back to talking about Sarah and the show panels, you know, everybody had different opinions on certain decisions, character deaths, you know, changes to the book plot, you know, whatever. But I think when you're in, it's just, there's just something so different. I think talking through a screen, like as great as it is to be face to face, and this is, I think, even a little bit better than just being on Twitter, being on BlueSky, whatever. Like, you put a face, you have a face in front of you, and you have an actual human person to talk to. And you know, maybe we don't always agree on everything, but everybody's really respectful of each other's opinions. Everyone's really understanding. And I feel like it puts so much in perspective, and it kind of, not to say that I was feeling a little bit like, I just like seeing some of the more extreme reactions. I think it was a little disheartening, but I feel like getting to spend time with people like really put things in perspective and kind of reinvigorated me and my love of the story in a way that I think I needed after like some of the drama that was going on. So I just think sometimes it's just a reminder. There's such a benefit to getting offline, like unplugging and just being in a space with other people, and other people that you know love the thing that you love, even if you don't all 100% agree on everything. Like, I think that's the other beauty of it, is that we can come together, and it doesn't have to be this whole big, you know, thing of you just talk to people and you get their perspective. And I feel like it's a nice opportunity for open dialogue in a way that I think when you're talking, you know, through a phone or on a computer, it's just, you just don't have that. So, and I feel like we're losing more and more of that these days too. So it's like, you know, the way that social media just, if anything, we're less connected in that sense in a lot of ways, as much as we have easy access to each other. So I just think these in-person events are just so valuable. Like they just feel really important in that way. So that was something I was thinking about a lot. You know, just going back to the hotel and like seeing new people every time and bumping into, you know, old friends and new friends and, you know, that sort of thing. So
getting stuck talking to me for 20 minutes and you're trying to get out of there.
No, it was fun. It was so funny because I was like, I literally have to go, but then I was like, I don't want to go. It was funny. I was literally on my way out the door, and then we
kept hugging each other to say goodbye, and then we would just keep talking. I was like, no, you gotta go. I know you said you had to like go to work, and then we'd hug again, and then we would keep talking.
It was the longest goodbye, and it was so funny.
Oh man, that's great. Thank you both for that sentiment. What do you think, Jordan? Did you buy a ticket while they were talking?
It's on the way. No, I've been to a few of the Tolkien conferences and things like that, and it was a lot of the same kind of thing that you're talking about. Those, you know, the panels are interesting and fun, but the kind of afterwards was always the highlight for those. So I would love to experience that for the Wheel of Time community for sure.
I think the nice thing too about Jordan Con is it's not just Wheel. Like there's a lot of different tracks, right? So you can do Wheel stuff, but then there's also whatever, you know, there's
the Cosmere track, there's a writer's track, there's a generic fantasy track and a generic sci-fi track, and there's a gaming track, there's a lit RPG track, and then there's like a whole bunch of other things going on that aren't necessarily tracks, but other events that they're like, there's gaming events throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, so little get-togethers. So it is, you know, it is Wheel of Time sort of inherently, but then there's other stuff if your interests are, you know, expand beyond that, which I think for a lot of people there's crossover.
Or your partner, if you're so Wheel of Time and your partner's not, there's something for them.
That was me. My husband, who actually, it was really funny. We go to the dealer's hall, and then I was getting a book signed by someone who was doing a signing, and I turn around and he's buying a dice tower, like 3D printed dice tower. I was like, what are you? I turned around. I can't keep my eye on you. But also, as someone, who's not into Wheel at all, it was so funny for him sitting in things like the Igloo Bale Bonfire panel, and then he would lean over next to me and he's like, are these characters even all real, or are you just making up names? And for thinking, like, is this some elaborate prank on me and I wouldn't know if these characters were real or not? And I was like, trust me, they're all real characters in these books.
There's no that any one person, except for perhaps the people who like make Encyclopedia Watt and the wiki, can know all of their names.
Mm-hmm.
There
could be some made up ones in there that we just
oh, for sure.
I mean, sure. There was a huge surge of names at the very, 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 very end of the books. This is not a book spoiler, but the very, very end of the books, Brandon Sanderson was like, I need to kill a bunch of people. And like basically was like, if you donate to the Lightweaver Foundation this year, I will include your name in the Wheel of Time and you'll probably die, or you'll get. So like there's like, when I'm reading A Memory of Light right now, and like there's all of these brand new named characters that like have like one page of action and then they get killed off for whatever
It's still reason. My goal to get like my name into a book somewhere, like Bree, who will sometimes be.
Oh my gosh, she named a country after me. I was
yeah. I was like, she made wield swords. It was not very nice.
I was like, I don't care if you kill me off. It's fine.
It is fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's very entertaining to be in a book.
Well, and now we're 10 weeks to WatCon. 10-ish weeks. 10 plus or minus days, I think, is the countdown. So, next con for Jordan.
We will see, hopefully. That's the plan.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of news, and then we're gonna talk about why Jordan is here, and then we're gonna open up your time capsule. That's our plan for today. So why don't we go ahead and pop into the Daily Veil?
120 days to Malkier Con.
That's a lot of days. So many days.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the Wheel of Time has news, and we shall dance the spheres with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
Oops, I started on the wrong one.
That's okay. This is what we're starting with now.
Okay, this is what we're starting with now. Oh, that's not what we're starting with. We're starting with. I am all over the place. I am so professional, y'all. Oops, I'm already messing up. All right, so Koala, for those of y'all who don't know Koala, she runs the Cards of Time. And now that season 3 is over, RIP season 3, we're sad, we're waiting for season 4, can't wait for it to get renewed. She is asking for help. So this is probably a little small, but this highlighted area right here, Koala Cardmaster says, hey, at everybody, if you see a particular shot, so like a picture or a scene depicted in the Cards of Time Season 3 set, please, wait, is that the right? Basically, she's asking for help choosing images. So this is in her Discord server. Because, you know, it's a lot of work. So she's helping for that. Also, she is looking for character quotes. So she's got a channel for that under her Season 3 Cards of Time. She's got several categories here that if you want to help her and her whole team out, they are definitely soliciting advice for everybody who's dealt with the Cards of Time in the past. It's a lot of work, and they're basically trading cards that she hands out, and you can collect all the seasons. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's cool. I love that she's doing it again. I can't believe she keeps having the energy to do that.
Oh my gosh, that woman is just non-stop to do a Hamilton quote. So then we will pop over to some slightly sad news. Last year at Malkier Con, Julie Howland, who is Natty Cawthon, also RIP Natty Cawthon, auctioned off naming one of her hens at Malkier Con. And unfortunately, in hen news for the last week, Perrin Golden Eyes had to be put to sleep. She went downhill again, and however hard they fought to save her, they were unable to succeed. Her beautiful, strong, gentle girl has gone to join the others. She was simply amazing, and how she survived her road hit and bounce into the front of a car and get carried for 2 miles stuck under the grill accidents, Juliet will never know. Extraordinary. She says, fly high, brave, gentle girl. But so that Hen Bowie, which is also named, I believe, by a Wheel of Time fan who helped donate to Juliet's charity, wasn't left on her own. We raced to get her a friend. She had come from an egg farm that morning. She's adorable. We drove her back thinking of names. Andy said Aiel. Juliet said something Way of the Leaf, which those are 2 totally different things.
Not the same at all. Very
totally
different.
Not the same.
Not the same.
And where was I? Which led to the Jen Hen. And then, of course, they thought of Jen from Takra and Riyadh, who has started the hashtag Hen News. So she is now Jenny the Hen. She is tiny underneath her feathers. Anyway, so these is some pictures of pair hen golden eyes. Just to say, absolutely adorable. They did a little ceremony.
Aww.
And then I believe that is now Jenny the hen. I believe is the second one. So I can't tell them.
I love her garden.
Isn't it gorgeous?
So magical.
Yeah.
Well, that's like it's like sad news and good news at the same time. That
Yeah,
there's
it's
a new
very
hen in the pack.
personal roller coaster.
A Perrin golden eyes.
Yeah.
Man,
So that Hen Buoy had a friend. They had to get a new.
I would think that
is
Hen
so
Buoy
funny.
would have been very satisfied to be alone for the rest of their life.
You never know.
Maybe they just really needed someone to peck at.
I have no idea. I do not own hens. I like to eat chicken, which I think is the opposite of what Juliet is trying to do.
Okay.
Moving on. On that note, Mel, do you want to do this one?
Yes.
Now
So
that I'm getting cut off from talking.
We're super excited to share that our favorite song of season 3, The Hills of Tanchico, has been put forward as a For Your Consideration Emmy for Outstanding Original Music. This was written by Nikhil Kopakar and Rami Park, and we wish them all the best. I know that a bunch of other things were put forward as well, but he was super excited to share this news, and we're super excited for him because he's just adorable. So yes, so play Hills of Tanchico a lot. I don't know if that makes a difference whatsoever, but if we bring it up in the Spotify rankings, we could.
I may be talking to Nikhil on Monday, in tandem with sort of a For Your Consideration Emmy voting period. So I'm gonna ask him all the questions about how this song, because I think Rami wrote the lyrics. They were coming up with the lyrics, obviously, in the writer's room. So I'll have to find out, the whole inspiration, and we'll get the inside deets on the bop of the summer, which is obviously Hills of Tanchico.
Clearly. I actually ordered myself a shirt today from, I don't know if you guys saw that Kate from What Series
I got
created.
one.
I was gonna say we both wore our shirts over the
Did
weekend.
you?
Last
Oh,
weekend,
yeah.
Yeah.
You can get
And if I'm smart, or if somebody in the chat wants to share it, you can go and you can purchase the shirts, and part of the proceeds from purchasing the Hills of Tanchico shirt go to support charities that support queer people in these trying times. So yeah.
It was definitely sung a couple of times at church.
I bet it was. I saw the clip from the opening ceremonies where he played it on the, what was it, like a string?
I have no idea what that's called. He plays it every year. So
cool. Very cool.
And then someone paid the DJ at the dance party to play Hills of Tanchico, which I was like, how did he not have it on his playlist?
Okay, yeah, why did you have to pay him?
Yeah, I wasn't there for it. I just heard later that somebody slipped him money to play Hills of Tanchico.
feels like a thing he would have just pre-programmed in, like, probably every 25 minutes. I would have played it every chance you get.
Right, seriously.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear more about the story behind the music. That's exciting, Carly.
That'll be amazing.
All right, what's next?
Moving on. So our whole hashtag Renew Wheel of Time is starting to make articles. Woo! There have been, I think, 2 articles released, as far as I know, that have been talking about the fan movement of asking Amazon to announce the renewal of the Wheel of Time. So it was a great write-up that talked about how well Wheel of Time has done on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. And I won't scroll all the way through. It's a fairly lengthy article, actually. This one is from Tech Radar. I love this picture. Why they chose that picture to put in the article, I don't know. Choices were made.
Well, look at the caption. That's why it says
The Wheel of Time's fan base are worried that Amazon and Sony are choking the life out of the Prime
I didn't
Video
read the caption.
original.
That would make sense.
So good. That's so clever.
But they do talk about, like, I can't remember if it was this article because I haven't gone back and reread it. I've read both the articles, but it does talk. One of them talks about comparing it to things like Jericho having the nuts sent in to get the second season, and a couple of other fan movements that to get shows continued on. So. So we've got articles out there for our hashtag renew Wheel of Time. My understanding, Mel, what's the count of the letters being sent now?
1,000 letters so far in the Action Network petition. And I'm sure there is more fun fan base actions to come besides sending letters. So we will keep it up as long as it takes, for sure. I think we're really good at coming up with things to help get attention to Wheel of Time. So I bet we'll all collectively come up with more fun things.
Oh yeah, this fandom is so creative. So
yeah, I mean, and we've got nothing but time, right? We've got the longing to deal with. So
got the longing. That is true.
We can creatively come up with ways to keep Wheel of Time in the news and keep the focus on the positive parts of the show so that it gets renewed like we all wanted.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the longing, we are going to talk about something today that will help you in the very short term fill the longing. And this is why Jordan is here. If I can get, oops, I closed everything out. So I did.
Would you like me to bring it back up?
I can bring it back up.
Okay, Jordan, you start talking and Leigh-A will bring it back up.
All is all to plan. Exactly.
Yes.
You want me to go ahead?
Yes.
I would.
So this Saturday is what we're going to chat about next, right?
Yes.
This Saturday, I am going to be hosting the first Beltane Robert Jordan Reading Day. Very excited for that. The Tolkien community every year has a reading day on Tolkien Reading Day, and so I wanted to try and do the same thing for the Wheel of Time community. And so on Saturday at 1, we're going to have readings back to back to back to back to back. It's looking like it'll probably be around a 5 or 6 hour stream right now. And each one of the readings will be accompanied by the Soundscape of Time, which is the work that I do. So I'm very excited for that. And we have some readers here with us, too.
No, we're just
Excellent readers.
Yeah. So you'll see some very familiar voices and faces, right? Because everyone's
see the voices. We're going to see the voices.
See the voices, hear the faces. I was looking at your post today. Can you scroll down, Leigh-A? Because it has it, right? Like who all is reading excerpts? Yeah, we've got
most of the text.
Koala, Lauren, Sulin, someone else, Honest, someone with Black Tower. Who is it? Is it Josh?
Both of them.
Both of them. People from Dragonmount, Alonwe. Yep. And there's just like, I'm really excited to, I mean, I can't imagine a better way to spend a Saturday than like having my friends read to me, right?
It's really a lot of fun because we won't be reading full chapters, obviously, but we'll be reading passages from each chapter. We have a good amount of chapters and going through book 1, so we'll kind of get a shortened version of the story, but it's always a lot of fun to hear these kind of moments picked out of each chapter and hear everyone's different take on how to read it, how to perform it, all these kind of things. So I think it will be a blast.
And everyone's reading is getting backed up by the soundscape that you've already done for the Eye of the World. Is that right?
Yep. yep, everyone's reading will have the soundscape as backing. And then my hope, if people enjoy this, is that next year we'll do book 2, etc., etc., etc. And many, many years later, we will get to the finish line.
Well, that was a really easy way to plan 15 years of content. Good job.
We'll see if the people like it and we can grow it. But I've been doing this kind of thing for the past 3 years in the Tolkien fandom. And we just had our Tolkien reading day 2 months ago. And it was really a lot of fun. A lot of the big content creators were there doing readings. And we were in the Return of the King book now. So there was a lot of very, very big epic moments that happened. So
That's really cool.
very cool.
Neat. Yeah, I listened to some of that. And just like last week, I was looking it up 'cause I'm curious what it looked like the last time.
Yeah.
It seems really cool. People just come and hang out and listen, and there's a live chat, and you can chat about whatever while it happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of fun to just hang out in the chat. People kind of come in and out during the day. But it's a lot of fun to hear people's different takes on things and kind of hear the book in a different way from people you wouldn't have been used to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
Lower your expectations, people. We are not Rosamund. We are not Michael and Kate.
I actually had some Moraine lines, and I tried to give them Rosamund flavor. I have to admit. I tried.
I had the Tom doing the Gandalf, run you fools, and it was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing now. I just distracted myself with my own voice.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so this is related to Soundscapes of Time.
Yep.
And you're currently working on the next set of books through a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, so a little kind of progress update, I guess. I just, a couple days ago, released book 2, so it's totally done, ready to be listened to. There's a lot of really, really awesome moments in there that I'm excited for people to check out. Some new cultures that we get to hear some music for that we didn't in book 1.
Cool.
So some really fun stuff there. Book 3 is already outlined and ready to be started on. Book 4 is also already outlined and ready. So I'm going to be moving into book 3 very soon, and I'll be able to make pretty quick progress on that, I think. And so that's why right now my Kickstarter for the next 4 books is running, so that hopefully if that gets funded, then I can continue on the journey and keep going.
That's awesome. And we have a special treat.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan has provided to us a little sample of book 2 of a very iconic part of book 2 that you're probably going to recognize very well. So what I've learned from listening to the Soundscapes is they're best listened to with headphones in so that you can get like the stereophonic sound. So here's your pre-warning that you should put your headphones on, and we're gonna listen
Definitely
to
for this
sample.
scene as well, I will say.
We're gonna listen to a sample of this so you can all get a taste of what this experience is like, because it's really, really cool. Okay. Are you ready, Leigh-A? Do you have your headphones in? Okay.
I got both of them in.
Okay. Here we
I
go.
normally only have one.
Of the world flickering. To hold the one symbol as 1,000 of them
I need
darted
to rewind.
wall, broken, bleeding, and burned. And as his last breath rattled in his throat, he heard a voice whisper, "I have won again, Luz Theron." Flicker. Rand struggled to hold the void as it quivered under the hammer blows of the world flickering. To hold the one symbol as 1,000 of them darted along the surface of the void. He struggled to hold on to any one symbol. "Is wrong," Baron screamed. The power was everything. Flicker, 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 flicker. He was a soldier, he was a shepherd, he was a beggar and a king. He was farmer, gleeman, sailor, carpenter. He was born, lived, and died an Aiel. He died mad, he died rotting, He died of sickness, accident, age. He was executed, and multitudes cheered his death. He proclaimed himself the dragon reborn and flung his banner across the sky. He ran from the power and hid. He lived and died, never knowing. He held off the madness and the sickness for years. He succumbed between two winters. Sometimes Moraine came and took him away from the two rivers, alone or with those of his friends who had survived winter night. Sometimes she did not. Sometimes other Aes Sedai came for him. Sometimes the Red Ajah. Egwene married him. Egwene, stern-faced in the stole of the Amerlin seat, led the Aes Sedai who gentled him. Egwene, with tears in her eyes, plunged a dagger into his heart, and he thanked her as he died. He loved other women, married other women, Elaine and Min, and a fair-haired farmer's daughter met on the road to Camelin. And women he had never seen before, he lived those lives. 100 lives, more. So many he could not count them. And at the end of every story, as he lay dying, as he drew final breath, a voice whispered in his ear, "I have won again, Luz Therin." Flicker, 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 flicker. The void vanished. Contact with Sidene fled. Rand fell with a thud that would have knocked the breath out of him if he had not already been half numb.
Wow. That was trippy.
I gotta turn my volume back down.
I felt like it was like my head was pulsing. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to put that sequence together. And interesting because I kind of came up with that sound before I saw episode 4 of this season. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting that it was a little bit similar in the kind of breaking, cracking sound between the visions. So that was cool. But yeah, a lot of fun to try and piece it together and to try and to figure out, because before that section that we heard, there's a little bit more, we hear a little bit more of the events that are happening. And so trying to figure out how vivid to make those and how not, how much music to put in. It's really, really interesting to see that whole passage build to that last moment for sure.
Really cool. Thank you, Mary.
Definitely. And if anyone is interested as well, on the Kickstarter page, there's 2 full chapter samples. One of them is with Rosamund, and then the other one is Michael. So you can check out the 2 different versions, because book 1 is now released to match Rosamund's timing as well. So you can check that out.
Well, and you've released...
How different are those timings?
They're pretty different. She reads a lot slower.
Oh, even slower? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because she's performing it a lot more as if she's acting it. Whereas Michael's a lot more of like a traditional narrator reading. But yeah, so some of the chapters are close, but some of them some of the dream sequences that have more kind of dialogue in them, they can get, sometimes up to like 5 minutes longer.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot more soundscape that I have to build and extend out to that.
Yeah. So do you actually create more soundscape for her particular? Interesting.
Yep. I got a kind of, some of it, like the music, I have to literally kind of fill in with new music in some of those spots where it takes longer for her to get through some of the passages for sure.
That's a lot. Had you heard any of that before, Carly?
No, not the like backgrounds, but I actually, it's funny. I feel like I don't always default to audiobooks usually, but now I'm like, no, I want to get some of the audiobooks so I can, listen to and kind of have the full immersion.
Totally. Yeah. And the nice thing too, compared to when I was here last time, is I now have a Soundscape syncing app. So if you have the audiobooks and you have the Soundscape, then it's a like 3 or 4 click process to put them together into a new version so that you can hear it all put together and immersive. Very cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, very, very nice and easy now.
It's been really cool to watch it all take shape over the last year.
There are some very exciting parts of book 3 and 4 that I can't wait to get to. And then I want to start. It's tough because I almost, seeing some of the things in this season are like, oh, I really want to get to some book 4 stuff, but I gotta like hold off and do book 3 still. So, yeah.
What is your favorite theme that you made thus far?
Music theme?
Yeah.
There's a lot of new ones. The one that gets stuck in my head the most is Tom's theme.
Ooh.
It's just a very like, the best way I can describe it maybe is it's very like a Baldur's Gate type theme. It's got that kind of thing to it.
Yeah.
It's very bard-like. But honestly, for book 2, it was really a lot of fun building Shan-Chan themes. And having that whole... I used a lot of different instruments from different cultures and things to pull that together. And I actually... It had been long enough since I watched season 2 that I can't really recall what that stuff sounded like. So maybe it sounds similar. I don't know. I haven't checked yet. But it was cool to just kind of start fresh. And when we're first introduced to them, the music is very kind of bold and almost noble sounding because we're not really sure what the deal is here. And then it gets progressively more vile is how I named it. But yeah, it goes darker and darker kind of with the way that it's instrumentated and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun in this book for sure. And then yeah, writing the big finale moments of this book were a lot of fun because that was a lot of new music as well. Because a lot of like Rand's music and Perrin's and Egwene's and Nynaeve's are familiar at this point. Matt gets a few new things, but we still haven't really introduced Matt's music yet. That'll come in book 3, and I'm excited to finally get there. But it's interesting to have the music kind of emulate that character development. You know, when we have Nynaeve's testing, we have a very new and powerful version of Nynaeve music that hadn't happened before. So, yeah, a lot of cool stuff. And then we got some Aiel stuff, finally. Little hints at it. Little hints. And that as well, I didn't have the luxury of not remembering the Aiel music from the show, but it's very instrument driven, I think, which was a lot of fun as well. Trying to find instruments that emulated that kind of combined culture, inspiration, and things like that. So, but yeah, in book 2, I think there's 2 or 3 moments maybe where we hear a little bit of it, and then that's all. So it'll be a lot of fun in book 3 and 4 to fully go into it.
That's awesome. I'm stoked. But thank you. I mean, just hearing you talk about it, like, shows like the amount of like consideration you give to every section of that. It's an incredible labor of love, and it definitely comes out when you hear it. So,
there's a lot of stuff that I'm thinking long term about. Hoping that I can get there to pay it off, you know?
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
We do too. We want you to get there so we can hear it.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, because I mean, Leigh-A, I don't do it like this, but Leigh-A rereads the books like once a year. Like,
I'm not this year. This year I'm taking off.
Series.
Yeah. It's usually a New Year's hits, and it's my goal to reread the books before JordanCon.
I've been on a reread, and I think Morden and I are like kind of on the exact same track. I've basically started a reread when the show was announced, and I am just now getting to A Memory of Life. So that's my trajectory. So maybe even slower than Carly, right? Because Carly's probably read more books than I have in the
A while ago, I wanted to like kind of plot out the year and see like which book would fit which months, like mood wise, and like plan it out.
Interesting.
You have a couple that are doubles, but it would be interesting to go through that.
Almost like astrologically.
Just like you'd have to put Winter's Heart like in November, to have the feel line up, but it's hard because if you start a book and you get through it quickly, it's hard to not just move on to the next one before the month is over.
I've always thought about doing like a read through podcast because I know people will do that. I mean, obviously, like people have done that, but I always worry that I'm gonna just get so sucked in that I'll just read too far ahead of where, you know what I mean? Because people will be like, oh yeah, so for this week we're gonna do like 5 chapters, right? But my concern is I'd sit there and be like, oh, what if I just read one more and one more after that and one more, like having to pace myself. Although maybe that would be a good way to stay on track, because sometimes I feel like with this I will not open a book at all for like it's been 3 weeks and I'm like, oh crap, or like a month or whatever, and then I'll pick it up and read like half a book. So I wonder, like, there's a part of me that's like, I want to figure out a way to keep myself on pace, but at the same time I can also look, you get to the last 4 or 5 chapters of any, and it's just like a speed run to the end. I mean, especially in those later books. So like that's where I'm like, I know I'm gonna get in trouble there.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about a podcast is you control the cadence, right? So if you get in that world where you're just like, I just have to finish this, like you could record it in sections pretty quickly and just like release it on a regular schedule.
Yeah.
You could still read it however you wanted to read it.
It's still a lot of work regardless. Like you have the discipline to pause and be like, okay, now we got to record and then I got to read again.
Yeah. I have a friend that did it, and they started reading. It was a reread because her and a friend had both read the books already, and they started it, I think, either around the time the show first came out or right before, and they just finished A Memory of Light like at the time season 3 ended. So it was actually like all through that whole period of this. So they were also doing show pod episodes too at the same time.
Oh, wow,
so that might have also contributed to it. But like, yeah, it's it's an undertaking. I think when you sort of have to pace yourself with episodes, I think it takes longer.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, the last thing we're going to do is open up this stasis box. Are we ready for this?
I don't know. I'm a little nervous for this. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
we're gonna have some broken hearts for sure.
Yeah.
Amis was saying she thinks that it's not necessarily only hopes and Teleranria, it's hopes and tears. Probably. But there's a fair number of dreams in here, so we'll just take them out and open this up. Oh wow, it opened really smoothly. It hadn't sealed up pretty tightly in this long time span since it was. I mean, I'm really easily able to open this thing up. Oh wow, and everything is still okay. Look. Like
we didn't show the videos.
Nothing got water damage.
No, the videos. You've got to show that we prove that we buried it, and you just today got it out. Because, there are some haters on the internet where they're like, I can't remember what Skeeter said.
Sometimes there are haters, and you do not have to feed the souls. We've learned that a lot recently. Okay, but for proof, for proof on live YouTubing, here is the video of it getting buried, which is very, very different than the video of it getting unburied.
Different. Absolutely.
To be fair.
Absolutely.
And then I went back. What?
I just realized I was talking through it and we're all muted the whole time.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, that was our special effects department said they would do it, but that was all practical effects. We decided we could do it ourselves.
Okay, and now today I found it. It was really hard to find getting back to the exact same spots. Very clearly unburied. There was sand embedded in the thingies. It was not a reverse of the previous video. Plus, it was like half the length. Anyway.
Everyone is sold on this story.
This is a real thing that happened. All right, I'm going to pull one out. Okay, so if your dream came true, shout out. And if it didn't come true, we will commiserate with you. So this is, we're going to start with this. Pavara's dream. Pavara wanted, is this a book? This is not really a book. Aeginan and Melindhra. She wanted both.
Aw, bummer.
Yeah.
You got neither.
I mean, I think we could, I think the argument could be made that Melindhra was there.
Possibly. We did
Toulouse was there.
We did see Firework Dealers.
Yeah. So Jenna Fleeter said she wanted an Elaine and Avi Randwich.
Not a Randwich, but they definitely had some kind of sandwich going on.
There was no filling, but it was pretty good. Yeah, thank you, Ashikova. You're right. It's my Aiel homing beacons made it so that I could look in the sand. Okay. Oh, speaking of Ashikova, this one's hers. Okay, it says she wanted the 1 cup of wine in Tanchico. I feel like she got more than 1 cup of wine.
Oh, yeah.
Was it wine that they were drinking, though, or something a little bit stronger?
I think it was wine. I think that, well, I'm gonna say that was for sure.
It was a beverage of some sort.
There was definitely drunk Elaine. So, and I think that's really what this was asking for, was some drunk Elaine. Which is
the 1 cup of wine.
The 1 cup of wine. Right.
We also know, well, I guess we didn't really know Elaine was a lush, but I think this season has definitely very much endeared.
She's boozy.
Yeah. She and I would get along very well.
She's boozy.
She makes her own booze. Like 2 seasons in a row now, she's made
wine. Her hooch skills keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Said hooch and not a different word.
So Luz Jr. said he wanted the boys to run into Tom in that one bar where Matt gets down like he's Henry Cavill. I have to be able to read my own handwriting. Or Matt gets down like he's Henry Cavill. I feel like we got really, really close to that.
Yeah. I mean, Matt and Tom.
Yeah.
Matt ran into Tom. So it was half of it, I think.
That was pretty close. Good call, Luz Jr. I feel like that one was really good. How's that?
I love that line.
Bloody daughter Erevander. Okay, Max Silva said he wanted Seafolk. Got him. We got a winner right there. Okay, wait. Maybe I should make piles of.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Of dreams that came true, dreams that were kind of true, and dreams that were crushed completely. All right.
Just no.
Just no. Hope. All right. Light Blinded Fool says he wanted Leanne dissing Couladin at Cold Rock's Hold. We didn't get it.
No, definitely did not get that.
We did not get that. We got Leanne at Cold Rock's Hold, but we did not get that intro.
We did get Bear pushing shoving him with a power, but
Yeah.
not Leanne.
But that's
smacking
not.
him down.
She did
Overseers
give him a
wanted some
verbal.
Hopper. We got
Yeah.
Hopper. There was Hopper.
We did. I cried.
Yeah, that was really
Oh my
sweet.
gosh.
I literally burst out crying in that scene. I
Yeah.
was like,
That whole dream sequence.
and then immediately at the end with Rand, I was like, oh, oops.
Amise said she wanted Rand to reject Lanfear.
Yep.
I feel like that is a dream come true. for sure.
And now she's the ex, which is not a good. She doesn't
not a
do
good
well with
sign.
being an ex-girlfriend.
She does not.
But she looks
She's
good. She looks so good as an angry.
She goes full into, oh, you rejected me, and now you're going to regret it in so many ways.
Oh man, that scene, I loved it. She went full psycho so fast. It was so good. Okay. Again, another light-blinded fool. He said he wanted Matt to meet Eludra. Sorry, light-blinded fool.
Ooh.
Did not get. Okay. Nick says that they were excited to cry and barf.
That was my Nyx. My little goddaughter.
Yeah. No, I know. I was trying to think, did we get any barf-inducing moments?
Samael. What
so,
Moggy does to Samael.
Okay,
so
that was pretty good.
is more the personal affection is the stuff that makes her barf, not necessarily the gore. So I'm sure there was.
Oh yeah.
But she does. But it's girl on boy stuff that makes her barf. She really loves the girl on girl stuff. So I think like the Elaine and Avienda would be happy, but
like Perrin and Fael,
she'd be grossed out by, especially the Lanfear and Rand. So
Maxim and Alana.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she was full barf mode.
So do we think we made Nyx's dream?
I'm pretty sure my dreams came true by her having to barf over those scenes.
Love it. Okay, Dana, Queen of the Dark Friend, said she wanted Avi to be annoyed. She has to explain G.E.T.O. to Rand 100%. We got that.
Yeah.
Patrick says Moggy makes barf dreams happen.
Oh, actually, I feel like that was the right one. Like in literal barfing when she like.
Oh yeah, when she spits the food out. Yeah. Which we learned last weekend that was all. That whole sequence was just the actress, was just Leigh-A Costa like making like ad-libbing. Like
I was wondering if that was directed or if she's like, "Can I just do my thing?"
They just told her to like be a little freak, and Sarah was like, Sarah says that like her ribs were hurting because she was trying not to laugh behind the monitor because they were watching her like do all this stuff, like pull things out and it was all her.
Oh, I cannot wait for the cut scene from that where she's just like all the things and not just those 2 or 3.
She had said something about how like she was just like channeling her 2-year-old or something, because like who's the like craziest like little demon person that she could think of, and it was her child, and that was her inspiration for Moggy. Okay, Frenzy. More specific, Hopper. Frenzy wanted Hopper in Teleran Riyadh, which 100% we got.
Mm-hmm. And it was also still Kalupinka too. Same Hopper. Same Hopper dog.
They better, I feel like that needs to be in the like renew what, like reasons why you need to renew the show, is because Kalupinka is not going to be around long enough if you don't hurry up and get the show going again. We have to let the wolf dogs be the same. Okay. Another Amise one. She said she wanted Moraine to get the doorway eat. Did not.
No yeeting.
No yeet.
Does that get deferred to season 4? Possibly.
Maybe.
Is there a new category?
No, there's no new category.
We're just crushing. We're crushing dreams and not deferring dreams.
Dreams.
We're just crushing dreams.
Okay, Leigh-A wanted Alana and Warders happy fun time. I feel like that's a partial meeting because there was only one warder, not warders.
Yeah.
It was happy fun time with one of them.
Mhm.
But it was fun, happy fun time.
It was pretty good.
They shared that. They shared
Any
that
happy
thing.
fun time that involves fruit is good happy fun time. Okay, another Ashikova. She said she wanted parents sniffing Fail's hair or catching her scent in the air.
Did he do the scent thing with her? I can't. I know he does it with Pat and Fane.
He articulates it with Pat and
I
Fane.
don't think he actually sniffs her.
I'm
He
so-
does other
I'm-
things to her, but I don't
Yeah.
think he sniffed her.
I'm sad I didn't ask Marcus. I should have been like, did you ever have a thing where you were just like sniffing, just scenting Isabella?
You need to take notes about what you're going to ask them when season 4 gets renewed.
Yeah.
Okay, are we saying? I feel like this is a crushed
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah, because
Ashikova.
it wasn't Fail, I don't think.
No.
That's sad. Okay. Oh, me. I said I wanted Lan and Melindhra not to hook up. Hooray! Dream achieved. Dream achieved. All of my other dreams in here are crushed, but that one is.
Lana Marine thought that there was going to be a hookup for one of them, and then it was neither of them.
They did not.
Which lost us so many points on the fantasy draft. Because it wasn't mutual consensual flirting.
No.
It was just one-way
One-way
consensual flirting.
Well,
I would say that it was consensual flirting with maybe Moraine. Moraine was
We
consensual
argued
flirting.
it, and it got shot down. That Moraine was not flirting back. It was like,
Here's my question though: do you think that Melindhra was flirting, or do you think she was just sort of peeping land, being like, Malkier?
I think she
Malkier?
legit just would fuck everyone. Honestly.
No, I feel like they just like did her so dirty in the show. Like you don't even
Yes.
know. Like she was
Yes.
just like everyone in the sweat tent was naked. She was particularly assertive naked, but everybody in the sweat tent was naked. You didn't get any sense that she had any sort of like kink side to her.
I
at
think
all.
she just was like, I kind of want some tonight, and I'm going to smile at everybody and see what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got the vibe at least. There was eyeing.
Okay. All right, this is a Leigh-A dream. She wanted Nynaeve to throw a shoe at Moggy.
Crushed. Absolutely crushed. Not
Crushed.
deferred, crushed.
Sorry, man.
Was secretly deferred.
The Graying Man said he wanted a Mercedes badge. I feel like that, I mean...
We got it.
It wasn't technically a Mercedes badge. It was an allusion to one. What do you think? What do you think, Jordan? Is it a crushed dream? Is it like a partially dream or a dream fulfilled?
I'm gonna say partial.
Oh, the audience is rough crowd here. Okay, Dana Kuna, the Dark Friend says, drilling the bore.
We did get that.
We got that.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
That was
Good one.
good.
All right. String Flame said Bella.
Oh.
I don't feel like we got any specific Bella.
No, we got a Mandar reference, but that wasn't the only.
Yeah. I'm gonna
previous
go with
course
crushed
reference.
String Flame. Sorry.
Yeah, crushed.
All right. Rob said naked Matt.
No. We had like deep V, Matt.
We had
Sternum.
extreme deep V.
Sternum.
We also had like fully open dress robe.
Yeah.
Like, sleepy robe Matt.
But he never had a shirt off fully.
No, he didn't. Crushed.
We haven't had, I was going to say, have there been any butts since season 1?
We got side butt. We got Lan side butt in the sweat tent.
Oh,
He
yeah,
stood
that's
up,
true.
got like a quick side butt like this.
Yeah, cheek.
We got a little Melindhra.
I mean, yeah, we got
We got a lot of
nip.
Melindhra.
Yeah.
We got some nip. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
No more butt rock.
Skeeter said he wanted Aiel giving guest gifts. I don't think we got that.
No, we didn't, and that was one thing that pissed me off about
Like-
Bane and Chiad in the Two Rivers was they did the whole ceremony, but they didn't bring Mistress Alvir a guest gift.
Yeah, my guess is it got cut for time. And I think I'm going to choose to believe it was in there and was just chopped in editing. Deep
Yeah.
Matt.
But crushed.
Do you think the entire reason he was in a deep V was so eventually you would see that he got a new piece of jewelry? Or it was just deep V was his aesthetic? I don't know. Still disturbed by the deep V. Okay.
I mean, he did wear the slutty veil, so.
He did wear the slutty veil. Rob said Perrin forging his axe. He was forging.
Well.
And he wanted Fane as Slayer. So,
well, given what happens to Fane, probably not.
So, but will we say he's forging his axe as opposed to a axe?
Yeah. He already had the axe, didn't he?
He did have the axe.
So he was sharpening it. So yeah, he definitely wasn't
forging.
forging.
He was for sure forging, though.
He was forging. He was a forging forger.
I feel like this is a partially fulfilled dream.
He was using the forge with the axe, or using the axe in the forge.
And
yeah.
Dad explaining to the kids about
hot axe
action. Sharp. Yeah.
Okay. Jeno said Avi naked in a sweat tent. Nope.
No naked.
No.
Not even going naked to Ruidian either, which I was kind of glad for, because
me too, because
who needs to run naked through a desert? No one.
Sweat tent makes sense, but running naked through a desert does not make sense.
There are there are places sand should not get.
Especially when you're like flipping and turning in the ring.
Oh God! Chafing!
Chafing!
Oh.
Whatever. Like, it was like crystallizing. They've called it like salt.
Yeah, I think it was like salt, because just the dehydration.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. Okay, Rapunzel said she wanted Mel versus Lan in the last battle. Well, I don't think that's happening at all.
Not in the last battle, although. Well, it was sort of Mel versus Lan, but then Mel was like, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
She was positioned to do something, and then she didn't.
She was, yeah.
But then she said no.
I feel like that one's too far.
Mel had standards.
He's too pretty to die.
For once.
Okay, Liz Jr. said Shio Goal. I don't even know I don't know how this is a dream, but I'm going to read it. Shio Goal. Why is sighting tainted? Did it forget to wash its butt? That's
partial, I guess. I don't know how to respond to that one.
I mean, we didn't get a view of Shio Goal, let's be clear. I mean, I feel like
we got into the board. Yeah, but that's not Shio Goal.
That's not Shio Goal.
Was there any connection made between that and the taint? Like that event happening in the taint?
Not
think so.
Not verbally, not clearly.
So
except for the fact that it kind of looked the same, but other than that.
Didn't they do one of the Origins cartoons about how it got tainted? Like the difference between Saidin and Saidar, and talking about. Have to go back and watch, because I don't know if that was meant to be one of those. I
think so. Yes, I think
history things that was like a not directly part of the show, but helps explain the show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been like 3 years since I've seen those. And what does that say? Mel season. Okay.
Give it a couple weeks and then.
I feel like this needs a new category of a deferred dream yet to be determined. We don't know for certain. Right?
I said put a pen in it, and you said no. We only crush dreams.
No, that dream is never getting crushed. All right.
Yeah, no, that's its own unique category. So it's yes.
Okay. Ashkova said Fane getting Dane drunk and whispering madness into his ear. We were all like gunning for Fane to be very worm-tonguey, and I don't think we got that.
Well, Dane did drink a lot this season.
Yes.
I don't think he was ever sober this season, to be honest.
No, that was pretty fantastic. But
So he was cosplaying me, which is cool.
I don't feel like Fane was responsible for that at all.
No. But he definitely, I mean, he came in and kind of, look,
He
was Dane too
manipulated
drunk
them,
at that
for
point
sure.
to recognize
Yeah, I think that's the thing is Dane was pre-drunk, pre-Fane, and that's why Fane could just like slide in and be like, "Hey y'all, I'm here in my bloody uniform."
Conspicuously bloody.
Just right into some trouble.
And Dane's just like, "Let him in. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine." Ooh.
Only the troops we were waiting for.
We have a fulfilled dream. Matt Murdock wanted Muradin drooling and mumbling, unable to move forward. I don't feel like we got drooling, but I feel like this was pretty.
Oh,
we got some Muradin action there, which was pretty great. I'm glad
that was amazing acting by that.
I love that the Muradin actor just like there's just like so many behind the scenes with that guy. It's like. Here's just hanging out. Okay. I am Cutie Pie said Matt goes to the Finns.
Mm-hmm. Totally achieved.
Uh-huh.
And it was epic.
All right. That was fun. Okay. Moggy threatening to ride Nynaeve like a horse. Didn't happen. Didn't happen.
There was no shoe throwing, and there was.
I think there's still possibility for them to insult each other.
But we don't have a deferred category, so dreams crushed.
Dreams crushed. Yes, except for one deferred because I am reading these. Okay.
So Noman Garden is coming up with. He says. A-Fen, no S. So, but I
feel like that's too much semantics. I feel like, I mean, like, I'm not letting Jordan weigh in on this one because he's making that face.
Wow.
We'll let you guess, but we're not going to let you talk.
No, you can talk. You're welcome to talk. But don't say semantics about Finn versus Finns.
They were just off camera.
All right.
Ooh, they were eyeing.
They did get mentioned. They did mention the Finns in the finale.
Okay.
Because when in the flashback, when Elida comes through the door, and then Alviarin says something like, "You can't trust the Finns." So they were both there, but Matt only bumped into the one. I assume for reasons being that it was already kind of out there. And like, look, when I talked to Rafe, he was like, we weren't even sure that we would even get to do the one Finn. But then by the time we were getting ready to do the episode, the strikes happened and we couldn't change it. So it was locked in. So they couldn't so they were already locked in. So they couldn't have anybody being like, we're cutting this.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting.
And we'll do an episode on this in the future, but the whole process of getting Robert Strange, his costume, not just the clothing, but like all the molds that he had to go through and the time to get the molds made. It wasn't even just sitting and putting smashing a whole bunch of fur on his face. Like they had to custom make all these prosthetics for him.
And they had to spray the fur on him.
It was extremely time consuming and like a whole...
For just the day of filming, he told me they got those whole...
One of the most intensive costumes that was made.
Yeah.
For this
I think
season.
He said it was like a 2 a.m. to 10 p.m. day.
Yeah. My favorite part of when I talked to him was I asked him about those boots, and he said he was talking to Sharon and he turned and saw the boots leaning against a corner of the whatever room they were in, and he went, "Please tell me those are for me." And she was like, "I'm glad you asked that. You said that because you're wearing them. Those are yours." Because he said all the time when I do creature stuff, I'm always like barefoot or like ugly boots or playing orcs and whatever. I never get to wear something like that.
Drag queen heels.
Yeah, just like
drag queen heels.
Heelless boots that are 7 whatever inch whatever crazy.
Those were like
insane.
Like,
and
15 inches without heels, and but then still having the heel on
and the
top
lace
of it.
up. Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
lace.
Was
Yeah.
it in your interview that he said the thing about having to like clench in order to like hold still because he couldn't?
No,
couldn't,
he
like-
told me they gave him a pole between takes that he could like hold on to, like lean against, because it took a lot, because they were laced up so high, like to his almost to his knees, that it would take so long to untie and unlace and relace them, so that between takes they would just give him this huge pole that he would just hold on to like steady his balance. It was nuts. He
crazy.
was so excited to talk about it finally, because he was been keeping that under wraps for a long
that's
time.
a long time. If it was filmed like during strikes. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Good stuff.
What a trooper. What a really interesting career that man has had, right? Like to almost always be like completely masked and like disappeared into some sort of like costume prosthetic
Yeah.
thing.
He said his first job was Penny Dreadful, and I was like, oh, I love that show so much. But that's where he met.
Who was he in Penny Dreadful?
I think he just did some, one-off like vampires.
Oh,
and kind
like,
of,
okay, the background,
not a recurring, not like a main
Mhm.
monster character. I think he was a vampire, like one of
There
the bald.
were several of those.
One of the bald,
Yeah.
nasty-looking ones from that like gets in Eva Green's face. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, the rope too. Yeah, I mean just wild stuff.
Oh, you want me to finish these? Okay. So, this one is Elida gets pushed off the White Tower. That was a really good dream. I really approve of that dream, but I don't think we quite got that. Oh man.
That was Suwon's dream sequence that got cut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is Noman Garden's dream. Is he still here? Okay. Door draw, cold open with Fane, and a fade to the ground.
Ooh. Yeah, no. Sorry.
Meet your
Crushed.
dream, Noman Garden. Sorry.
Crushed.
And this one, there was like a whole Fane sequence. Fudgy Gump said Fane and Shadar Logoth. Again, crushed dreams. Man, this pile is getting bigger. I'm really sad about this pile. Okay. Another Fane. Fane maybe becoming Slayer. Yeah.
Another one, yeah.
Nope. And then Alt Text Alex said Matt flips a coin and it lands on its edge.
I want to
Crushed.
Wouldn't that have been
No.
nice? I feel like we're getting closer. Like, I think
But he
we're building up to it.
just went through the doorway, so
Yeah.
maybe
I was so ready for him to come out in Rudian somehow,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It would
I
have been
really wanted
so,
that to happen.
because the story kind of ends there anyways, so he
Yeah.
could have easily just been there.
I'm at a different
instead.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then rescued Melindhra from the fate of land. That's it. Believed. Until the end. I was waiting. I did appreciate, and I said this today in some other channel, I don't even remember where. I really appreciated how they're like subtly working in the Tavernness and Matt's luck, like the fact that they randomly ran into that guy at the bar who randomly had the bracelet, like that was all Matt, right? That was all Matt's
Well,
luck
and finding Tom,
influencing all of that. So I mean, they're working those things in. They're just
You can
maybe
definitely
not like
see, like,
explicitly putting them out there.
I would imagine you got like a list of concepts that you want to introduce, and it's like, how many can we introduce in one season without the audience being like overrun by new concepts? Like, I feel like you can't put Teleron Rayod and Perrin, doing Wolf Dream stuff simultaneously introduced at the same season, without them just coming off as exactly the same. which they definitely function differently. So that would be very confusing, I think.
We got
But
another
next
Hopper
season-
Witch. Meg wanted Uno in Teleronia. Got any more?
That would have been amazing.
Where's Brigida?
Brittany Heron wanted Fail to seduce Perrin. Feel like that was a good call. Dream achieved there.
Yeah, she definitely seduced him. That's, oh, yeah.
Otra Sedai said Varen shenanigans. We got some of those, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, oh, for sure, shenanigans. Her creeping around the White Tower when there's a gray man there. What's going on?
Like using her sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
As if there was gray men, though. I just gotta say, that's crazy. And
There
awesome.
were gray men. That was nuts. I almost forgot that there were gray
And
men.
whoever was editing it, just really got what we were trying to do there.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is crazy. I really can't get a good look at this character. It's so well done.
So Luz Jr. said Alana saying armies and talking to Varen. She was not talking to Varen.
Partial. Definitely partial.
It's no, that was like post, like we had already seen that in the preview. So it was an already thing that we knew was happening.
That she was looking for armies, but
he just wanted that conversation to be with Varen. So I feel like that's not an achieved dream. Okay, Winter's Lady said Matt speaking Old Tongue and singing both. That's like a super dream.
Well done, Winter's Lady.
Good job, Winter's Lady. Your dream.
Oh, I'm happy Winter's Lady's dream came true because she came in very upset after one of the episodes and was like having a moment. So I'm glad her dream, some of her dreams came true.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Fudgy Gump wanted Brigitte or resolution on the Red Rock and Stone Dog that Matt took.
Crushed.
That. Oh.
Pretty sure that's crushed.
I think Matt's forgotten that. Oh, this.
There's so much shit talking going on in chat right now. I'm really appreciating it.
All right. Skeeter said, Perrin and Fael sexy fall down the stairs in the wine spring. I feel like that's a partial.
I don't know because the whole thing was
Don't
they were
remember a
upstairs
staircase.
and she was trying to restrain him from going downstairs after he'd been healed and he needed the rest, and then they tumbled down, and then Mistress Albert was just like side-eyeing like, how dare you do this in my inn.
But I feel like we got the
they got
piece of
sexy
that.
fun
We got the
time.
piece of that.
but
They were
they
making
did
out.
not
He
follow
was
it.
injured. It was like the makeout, and he was injured. And it was Alana who was
Right.
interrupting them, not Mistress
Alright.
Alver. But I feel like it all
So
kind of
the whole I say crushed. Mel says partial. We'll leave it to our guests too. What do y'all think?
Fight over it.
Crushed.
Wow, he is brutal. What do you say, Carly?
Yeah, I would say it was not enough to, especially because, not enough.
Crushed pilot.
Crush those
Very
dreams.
large. Did not expect this to be such a brutal night. Okay, Swarrain kiss in episode 1.
No.
But
that's can we say it's partial because they did kiss, just not in that episode.
They did kiss.
But it's specific episode.
There's a lot of bending the rules in here.
I mean, but they specifically
Welcome
said
to 3-4 talk.
But partial. We did get a kiss, it just didn't happen in that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Okay, we're gonna
add a silent stare in this episode.
Especially since I got so excited about crushing the previous person. So maybe I
Look,
should,
if it's at least 50%, I think that's partial.
There.
I feel like yeah, exactly. I mean, the major point was
Carly's way nicer than I am.
Okay. We are. Nyx is 2 for 2 in these. Nyx wanted more Bane and Chiad, and boy did she get it.
Yep.
I will let her know. She will be very happy.
Awesome. Our dreams came true. She was good Okay. Gawain to be humiliated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like we got
Yeah.
that. That was good. Shore says Swan lost the daughter heir twice. I don't think we.
Well, I guess we could maybe say partial because there's an admittance that Elaine was lost in Falm, and Morghese was all upset that they didn't know where her daughter was, and then Nynaeve and Elaine.
But Shore doesn't. But Elida doesn't say that, right? That's not Elida's.
Elida does not admit the second one.
Elida's not.
But is
Right.
concerned about the
Crushed.
first one.
That conversation was with Morghese, right?
Yeah, that's crushed.
I feel like it's pretty crushed. I mean,
Crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
crushed.
gonna put it slightly pointing towards the not crushed pile. Just so we know. Okay, last one. Last dream. I wanted Lan saying it's warm enough.
He said the literal opposite.
Yeah, he was like, it's way too hot. Please stop.
We'll give it a partial.
It was him talking about the temperature in a situation.
And right, the situation happened.
So we're saying the complete opposite counts now. Okay. Cool.
I mean, warm enough as opposed to like, oh my god, it's so hot, they're adding more steam.
I mean, I didn't put emotive indices on this. It could have been like, it's warm enough.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that's true too.
So
You didn't
Come
put
on,
inflection on it.
Just put
Oh
them
yeah,
on the
a
partial
lot of
pile.
people,
All right.
a lot of people
It
are on your
counts.
side that it's a
all
partial.
right. Okay, so the fulfilled dreams pile is like this many.
It's very scientific, thank you.
The partial dreams pile is much thinner. This
Yes,
many. And then the crushed dreams pile is quite
So many crushed dreams.
so many crushed dreams. That was fun though. That's I'm actually surprised at how many people called things because I felt like there was a lot that was unpredictable, even though there was so much that followed the book lines. It was like this.
The one book line that I was really hoping for was there, and that was the whole "That's not good enough" Moraine scene. I was so hoping that would happen, and it was so good.
I love it. That's good. Dreams crushed.
So many dreams crushed.
Maybe we should have picked a different title to this episode.
Did your dreams come true? No, they got crushed.
So,
We stabbed you straight through the heart.
so Carly, I know you got to see all of this stuff so much earlier than everyone. Was it like, what was the hardest thing to like not talk about? Like, what's the thing that you wanted to talk to people about so much? But
Oh, I mean,
You only get one.
yeah, only one thing. Oh man, that's a good. I mean, I was just excited. I think Ruidian was the thing I was most looking forward to, and so when they did such a terrific job with it, that was the thing I was sort of like, I can't wait to. But then also watching the whole season, and then you get to the end, and you're like, oh, well, my heart's ripped out. So. And then having to sit with that. I've said this before. I do feel like I have just had a chance to sit and process the ending also. So like that's where I'm sort of like I'm probably a little bit further along in the grief process than a lot of people at this point. Like I've come around to the acceptance stage of like I'm just disappointment, but also acceptance at this point. But yeah, I think Ruidian was the one I was like, I am so because I just felt like they nailed it. So that was the one I was really excited for people to get to.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. It felt so. I think I said this when we did our show reaction episode, but it felt so familiar that it almost like didn't feel. It almost didn't feel like the show because I was just watching the books play out. I was like, this isn't the show that keeps surprising me and like throwing different things at me. It's like I know what's happening. I know, and I'm just like I'm so satisfied, but it didn't give me the same set of feelings that I normally experience watching the show. Because it's like I often watch it with a "what are you gonna do to surprise me" kind of mentality. And look forward to those moments.
But I think the surprise was that it was so true to the books, especially with the deviations. And then, and I know I said it on the episode, but I was surprised that it was Yosha that was doing all of, like, in the first, at least in the first two flashbacks, I was like, no, that's a completely different actor, no way. And then when I went back and rewatched it, I was like, oh no, I'm a dumbass, that totally is the same actor, but they did just such a good work with all the prosthetics and the costuming and just like, so that maybe that was the surprise, like the single actor. They didn't have to like get folks that looked similar-ish to do the heritage.
Yes. Ugh, man. So satisfying, and so many things that we can like keep like talking about and exploring while we
wait for season 4.
Season 4. yeah, exactly. Keep crushing our dreams. We want more of our dreams dismantled and crushed. That was yes, exactly. Oh man. Do we have anything else today? I think that's it for us. Yeah?
I think that's it, yeah.
Oh, Carly, it was amazing having you. Jordan, thank you for coming back and sharing your amazing work with us.
Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern.
So fun. Yeah, don't forget, Saturday, 1 p.m. You can listen to your friends read to you all day.
All day.
Just delightful. Okay, cool. As we say around here, may you always find love, water, and shade. And we will see you next time.
May you always find love, water, and shade.
We gotta end the stream.
I did. I clicked the button. It didn't.
No, we gotta actually.